Hey guys, how's it going? Well, it's time. First ride on the 2003 Road King that we've been working on all winter. Didn't do much this week, just puttering with the bike, odds and ends, and my daughter has gymnastics and just hanging out with the family friends. So there wasn't much in the way of content to post last week, so I didn't post anything. That's the way it goes sometimes. Anyhow, I'm cautiously optimistic. This motor has 0 hours on it. It's been heat cycled a couple times. It is super windy today, friends. I'm going to try and block you here, but I'm going to break this in as per JE Pistons rules. They say basically this thing's broken in 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to ride up the highway and I'm going to vary the RPM as often as possible. Put load on the bike and let off the throttle, load on the bike and let off the throttle. I'm going to do that all the way to the city. And by the time I get there, I'm going to go pick up some oil and a filter and maybe go for a little bit of a boot. But basically, I have to put 50 miles on. At 50 miles, they say to change the oil and I should be good to go. And then I'm going to ride this thing fairly hard. I'm going to ride it like I normally would for the next 500 miles, and then I'll probably dump the oil again, and the motor is ready to go. Here she is. I picked up a new set of saddlebags on, I saw a post. Fella had these, he bought them for his bike, and mine were starting to crack at the bottom. They were leaky, and these things aren't perfect, but they're the Road King custom ones, so with one button you can open them, and my old ones had those clasps. I think they look good on the bike. Again, so new top end, put on an oil gauge. Arlen Ness Big Sucker with a carbon fiber air intake. I did do that wrap. It's not horrible. I fixed it in a couple places. I'm just gonna run her like that. I ordered a new headlight. This one's rubbish. I don't see very well with it. Bought this 5-inch Pro Cycle tack off eBay, rebuilt it and got it working again. Put all new brass hardware and that on it. 2-inch higher risers, new bags, new spark plugs, oil. I serviced the transmission. Just went over this thing. Anyhow, friends, let's fire this thing up and I'm going to get my gear on. Let's go for a ride. Decompressions. Okay guys, I thought I'd do a little voiceover. It's pretty windy today, and first thing I noticed with the fairing up an inch and back an inch, I'm not getting any buffeting like I used to. So again, winning. I noticed my tack is acting a little funny. I don't know if it's the wiring or what the deal is, but I'm just looking things over and checking everything out. What I'm doing is I'm rolling on and off the throttle. I'm going from 2,000 to 3,000. I'm pulling more RPM, and then I'm letting off the throttle, and I'm just putting load on the rings to get them to seat. And then what I'm doing is letting it off the throttle and letting it slow down on its own. And everything feels good. Motor feels strong and tight, and I'm living life, super happy. And I'm thinking to myself, you done a good job here, sir. Look at you go. Now at this point, I notice absolutely no issues. Let's ride a little bit and I'll jump back in. this point, you see me looking down, just checking everything. Now I'm starting to apply more throttle. I've been riding for, I don't know, 15 minutes at this point. Everything feels good, so I'm starting to whack the throttle harder and pull more RPM. And I'm getting ready to start doing, 60-70% throttle and letting it speed up and speed down. Now, right at this point, friends, I get a whiff of burning engine oil, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm driving, and I decide to, I'm starting to think, wow, that oil smell's getting thick. And you see me look down here, and right here I pull over. And I will cut the video short because, I had some choice words when I was pulling over. We got to keep this family friendly. Well, friends, everything was going good, and something let go. Not in the motor. Motor runs fine, but you can see in the video there I was riding, and I suddenly started to smell burning oil, and then I looked down at my shoe and I could see oil spray. So it's everywhere. So I don't know. Anyhow, friends, I just I shut the sound down. The wind gets so bad here that literally all you can hear is wind noise. Sitting on the bald prairie with about a 50-mile-an-hour sustained wind. I'm just looking it over right now, kind of narrating, saying, hey, there's oil all over the frame, the fender, saddlebags. Both my feet got wet. And it is what it is, friends. I knew that something let go. And a little oil goes a long way. I was just happy that I shut the bike down before I ran out of oil because I was paying attention. So I called my wife on my cell phone, and I knew she was 20 minutes ahead of me up the highway, and I knew she could probably just turn around and pick me up. So nice thing was my trailer has nothing on it because I helped the buddy load some steel on Friday and hauled that for him. So I thought, well, this is going to be an easy pickup. Look at that saddlebag. So I just waited for my wife, went and got my truck, and drove back and picked her up. And I wasn't upset because this is a minor inconvenience. This is first world problems, friends. And I'm still happy to be here. And how lucky am I to be working on such a beautiful bike and, enjoying such a beautiful day. Lucky, that's what I say. Well, guys, we got her home, and I doused her down with some Simple Green and pulled out my pressure washer. And you can see there's oil all over this thing still, but it's cleaner than it was. And now I'm just going to unload it and probably call it a day for tonight. But I'm not sure if I have enough oil. If I have enough oil, I may just do a quick look over. I'm not sure what happened. Something let go, whether it be a gasket or an oil seal. I may have put together, or I may have problems with those oil breathers that I rebuilt. That could be an issue. But basically, friends, I'm not sure. I double and triple checked everything, and we'll go from there. It is super windy, so I don't know how well this sounds, but I'm going to cut her short here. Well, friends, I took this thing up the road for a little rip. And look, it's just puking oil out of there. And you can see it's wet. It's coming from the top down. It's nothing, I don't think it's anything major. In fact, friends, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here. Notice rocker boxes are sealed. Everything's sealed. But they seem to be leaking from the front. This one's leaking too. Both my rocker boxes are leaking in the same manner. Now, do you see that? Right there. Here. See this? Now, friends, I'm not sure, but I feel like I put my rocker box gaskets in backwards. Entirely possible. It's going to be something silly like that. But yeah, I have both my rocker boxes are leaking front and rear. See, it's spraying oil all over the frame. So It's either that or my umbrella valves are not working properly. Remember, I just rebuilt those. But you can see we got oil coming from here. I'll turn your light on so you guys can see. From here down. Now, I will say it is normal for a little bit of oil leakage out of your gaskets and that on a new motor, especially out of the top, because when you are seating the rings, you'll get a little bit of blow by or a lot of blow by, and you can actually get some compression getting into there. But that's where we're at right now. We're going to leave this. Basically, no huge deal, but I'm going to have to pull the fuel tank, which means draining it again. And then I will have a better look. I'll pull the rocker boxes off, probably the front one first. And see, I know I put the O-ring underneath the breather valve, and I know my lower gaskets are correct. They should be. Again, though, friends, it seems like right here, okay, if we were leaking out of here, it would be wet down. But look, this is just covered in oil again. It seems like we're spraying oil out of the seam here. And if you look right here, same thing. So I have the same condition on the front and back. That's telling me I probably assembled something wrong. And I'm going to show you guys this because I have no pride. If you guys look, there's just oil everywhere. So this is a hard one to diagnose because guess what, friends? I idled this thing in the driveway and guess what it did? Nothing. Never leaked a drop. It's after dinner now and I couldn't leave good enough alone. And, well, it's 6 bolts to take the rocker box gasket off. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I put them gaskets in the wrong way. And the giveaway, friends, was I could see gaskets sticking out where I didn't think there was supposed to be gasket. Well, lo and behold, laugh with me or at me, but these are the things that happen sometimes. Check this out. So guys, I noticed when I was inspecting this that, you guys see that? Now this is loose now. I took the 6 bolts out, but I was like, it seems to be that there's gaskets sticking out of there. So I took the 6 bolts out of this top one and I pulled this off. Sorry guys, I'm just doing this. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. And if you look, here's how the gasket was. Right here. Like that. Okay. Well, that is no good. Look, there's a big hole there. Well, funny story, friends. And if you look down in here, this is no big deal, actually. This is, look, friends. Look, can you see? There, let's see if I can zoom you guys in there. There, look, gasket hanging out, oil everywhere. See my finger? Well, friends, I'm red-faced, but I'm going to show you guys this because, well, I put these valve cover rocker box gaskets in backwards. This side goes here. Look. See? If I put them together properly. And now if you look, this would be lined up. Oops. Well, I don't think I'm going to reuse that. I just happen to have a brand new set of James gaskets. Chemetics are better, and that's a Chemetic gasket. But I'll throw a brand new set of gaskets in there, and we'll be right as rain. It's 100% what's wrong, friends. Sorry, friends, I dropped my phone there. It is amazing how much oil you can miss when you got a gap in there. So, anyhow, I feel better now. This thing's going to smoke and burn oil off the pipes for a while because, well, there's oil everywhere. You can see, look at it. And, well, that's just the way it goes. Only thing left to do on this, and I noticed that, my tack's acting funny. It works for a while and it doesn't, so I may just have to break down and buy a brand new tack. But anyways, friends, Yeah, I made a mistake, and I'm going to show it to you guys. I put that gasket on backwards, so 100%. That's the problem. I put I put these upside down. They're supposed to go like this, and they're like this. Okay, and you can see all the oil sitting there. Well, when you're pumping oil into the top end here, which you are, that oil is going to come up, and it was literally spraying. Well, you can see it on the fender. Okay, spraying onto there. So, like I said, what I'll do is I jack the tank up. Okay, I'll take these 6 bolts out, and I'll put a brand new gasket in there, torque them all back down again, and this thing should be right as rain. When I saw how much oil I was spraying, originally I thought maybe this line blew, but again, I couldn't see anything wrong with it. But that was my original thought. I was like, maybe that line blew. But like you guys can see, there is literally just oil everywhere on this thing. It was hard to diagnose. You can see it's like puddling down here. It's sprayed just absolutely everywhere. But like I said, friends, at idle, this thing didn't leak a drop. So I ran it 5 or 6 times in the shop and said, okay, well, this thing's oil tight. And we're going to run her now. So anyhow, I'll give this thing a good bath of Simple Green, and I'll pressure wash it again, and we'll run her, and whatever oil is left on this thing, you guys can see. Look at all that. It's just sitting in there. Yeah, good times. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I made a mistake, but I was paying attention, which means I didn't just ride down the highway grinning, because this thing runs perfectly. I foresee no issues with my pistons or anything. This thing was begging me to be flogged when I was going down the highway today. So again, though, I was paying attention, and I shut her down before I ran out of oil. I was only a liter or a quart down, so no big deal. Anyhow, I'll get those flipped around at some point this week in between all the other things I have to do, and we'll take her for another ride. Thanks for watching. Take her easy. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.